Hi, this is a shout out to Keemstar. Keemstar, hey, I just want you to know, I made an effort to make peace with you. I made an effort to, work out a little treaty with you. All you had to do was come forward and say, all 3 times I talked shit about you, I was wrong, and I apologize. And we could have never spoke about each other again. But you don't want no part of it. So, okay. Have a nice life.
But long story short, I believe in 2017 he started, like, somebody catfished him. Like a group of trolls got together and like catfished him or whatever. And then a story came out that, he was messing around with someone underage. He wasn't. He was catfished, but
Mhm.
the catfishers like changed the age. Like, they were telling Tony that it was an adult woman, but then they told the internet that they catfished him with a minor to try to make him look like a P word. So people from that catfish story, these group of trolls started calling him the P word again. And he blamed me for it. I'm like, I have nothing to do with this. I don't have anything to do with this catfish story.
I've given a lot of hot takes over the years, and for the most part, I stand by all of them. And even some of the hot takes that I've given about this particular topic that we're talking about today, I still stand by. That being said, though, given recent events that have happened on YouTube and just given the fact that I do a lot of introspection in general, I've thought a lot about how I've covered the Tony situation. And again, while I don't disagree with most of what I've said, I figured it was worth giving a second look, especially since Tony now has brain cancer and, well, unfortunately is likely on his way out. I mean, miracles can always happen, and I hope that they genuinely do, like in this case specifically. But Tony has a rough battle ahead with cancer, and it's something that I am totally sympathetic towards. YouTube drama is a funny thing because 99% of it is just completely pointless and retarded, but then there's that 1% of stories that are just so important. It's you have to be careful not to give like a dangerous fucking take on it, right? And with the Tony situation, I've been on and off for and against Tony over the years. Recently, I've been very anti-Tony just because he's been flip-flopping his positions all the time. And we're going to look at that in this video, just so that we're clear here. Tony cannot make up his mind and hasn't been able to for the last 6 years as to whether he likes Keemstar and views him as a friend and forgives him, or if he hates Keemstar and attributes every miserable thing that's ever happened to his life to it being Keemstar's fault. And I'm not going to sit here and fucking gun guard for Keemstar and fucking ass ride him or whatever. He's a grown man, he can defend himself, and he has before in the past. I'm just looking at the situation objectively and giving my fucking take on it, right? After Tony announced the unfortunate news that he had brain cancer, Keemstar put up a tweet saying, "Gonna put all my pride aside for the constant bullshit over the years and wish you the best. Fuck cancer." To which Tony's family negatively replied towards, saying, "A few days ago, we had to take away Tony's phone because of your fans calling and saying he's a pedo. Then they started calling on the hospital phone. Keemstar, the worst part is, you're still say it's everyone's fault but yours." Now, Keemstar's going to give the excuse saying that, "Oh, it's not me or my fans doing it, it's people that are against me that are calling you a pedophile so that then you blame me on social media so then I look bad." That's what Keemstar's going to say. In fact, I'm pretty sure that's what he did say in that situation. And a lot of people saw this as Keemstar coping and just making shit up. No, of course it's your fans who are calling him the pedophile. You're the one who did that in 2016. I'm sorry, man, but I just don't buy that fucking argument. All right, Keemstar put up a video for a fucking hour accusing him of being a pedophile and then immediately retracted it, to which Tony accepted Keem's apology towards. Why would Keemstar fans 6 years later threaten Tony every fucking day thinking that they're helping Keemstar in the process? It's obviously people that either don't like Tony and want to piss him off and they're doing the one thing they know they'll get a reaction from him from, or it's people that are doing it to piss off Keemstar because they know it'll make Keemstar look bad, or maybe it's a combination of both. Maybe people just want to fuck with Tony and Keemstar at the same exact time. I just don't buy the narrative that it's Keemstar fans doing this. Comment Cop made a dismissive meme kind of shitting on me after I put up a tweet, shitting on Tony, basically saying, "Who cares," right? And that tweet, it was pretty fucking nuclear to say who cares, but I am getting a little sick and tired of this guy constantly bringing this shit up and talking about it every fucking day like it's his fucking trauma, when in the past he forgave Keemstar. He talked about how the situation didn't affect him as much afterwards, given that it boosted his career and gave him tons of fucking notoriety and made him a much bigger streamer. Yeah, I'm sure he doesn't like being called a fucking pedophile, and I totally fucking sympathize with him there as somebody who gets, accused of fucking all kinds of horrible shit on the internet myself. I'm totally, sympathetic or empathetic, whatever the right word is. I totally agree with them. The problem is, it's been 6 fucking years, and he needs to realize that bringing this up every fucking day for 6 years is only going to add to the problem. It's only going to make things worse because trolls who want to fuck with Tony or Keemstar are going to see what happens on Twitter every time they do this, so they're going to keep fucking doing it. That's my point here, right? Like, that's all I'm saying. But it is true that Tony's been wishy-washy on Keemstar, right? And it's very confusing because there's a lot of multiple theories on this. So let's take a look at some of the conflicting tweets, and then I'm going to get my thoughts on them. At Keemstar, I have only 2 things to say. All the best to you, my friend. May God bless your soul. Keemstar, there's always a place for you over at Glory and Gold. So he's being positive towards Keemstar, and one of the tweets that he's being positive towards Keemstar to was on the 4th of July, 2 days ago, right? But then in the past, Tony's talked about how Keemstar ruined his life with the pedophilia thing, but this tweet right here saying, no one ever called me a pedo, tell Keemstar. Now it happens every day. Nice guy Keemstar posting the video of the ice cream thing, trying to make Keemstar look bad, even though that was a skit. Here he is complaining about Keemstar never calling him back on the phone, which is a totally fair complaint. Then here he is calling Keemstar a waste of air. Here he is tagging Keemstar saying, just so you know, your BS still affects me. Here he is asking Keemstar to play chess. Now he's saying he wants to talk to Keemstar. Now he's shitting on Keemstar, saying the truth hurts. Here he is asking Keemstar for advice and asking him to hit him up. Here he is saying all the wonderful people from Poland stop and say hi to Keemstar. Here he is thanking Keemstar for rating him on Twitch. Here he is inviting Keemstar to do a friendly interview on his talk show. Here he is tagging Keemstar positively again. Now he's saying Keemstar's minions are messing with his family. Here he is thanking Keemstar for another Twitch host. Here he is saying that Keemstar reached out to him not with money, but with friendship, praising Keemstar. Now he's questioning whether Keemstar's a bad guy. Here he is saying Keemstar is a nice man who made a mistake. Everyone should get a second chance. I forgave him a long time ago. Now, before you guys make any comments, I'm totally aware of the fact that all of these tweets are out of chronological order. A lot of the tweets recently towards Keemstar are negative, whereas a lot of the tweets in the past, closer to when the situation happened, when Keemstar uploaded the false drama alert, he's being positive towards Keemstar. I'm not saying opinions can't change or that you can't change your mind on somebody, but it's clear that he's all over the place and really doesn't know how to respond to the situation. And I gotta be honest, looking at all of these tweets right here, I'm starting to question whether Tony's malicious in going after Keemstar and using the situation for attention for his streams, or if he just doesn't really understand the internet and how to handle situations like this and how to respond to them. It seems like he's in a constant battle of like, do I forgive this guy and say that he's a good guy? Or do I shit on him and say that he ruined my life? Or do I just stand in the middle and question him or something like what do I do? It seems like he's fucking clueless and has been for a while. And this leads into the conspiracy theory people have started up recently that Tony's family is in control of his social media and has been using him to go after Keemstar to get attention, to, get people to go to his stream, to pay him money so that they can steal his money basically, which is a totally fucking wild conspiracy theory and one that I don't totally subscribe to. Albeit the first part of, his family just grabbing control of his Twitter account and tweeting these things, I mean, that does make sense. They outright admitted it a few months ago when, quote, Keemstar fans were calling him at the hospital. We had to take away Tony's phone. Why are they fucking tweeting on Tony's account, speaking for him? That's weird. Then there's also the other theory that H3H3 used Tony to go after Keemstar, just like how he used Tommy and C2010 to go after Leafy. Tommy and C2010 would beg H3 to go on his show and give him, an interview. H3 promised to do this and then completely backed out and never hit him up again.
I don't think the stuff that I said to H3 actually made it on the Baited podcast, but I remember saying something like, would you think about talking to Tommy NC? Because, after all, because he was on there to defend himself and he admitted that, he handled the Tommy NC thing wrong and blah, blah, blah. And, he kind of made an excuse why he didn't go after Leafy. But I remember saying to him, and I don't think I made it on the podcast because that was a long one. Like, you kind of use this guy to sort of further your attack on Leafy. What you did was a sneak attack on Leafy. Don't get it. Don't you think you should probably go on and like support him a little bit and just say hello to him? Because
that's a lot of money, I guess, for a person of color.
And Clown and me went on as Baited, and I've been on before. Like, I'm not saying you have to go on every week. I haven't been on Tommy's show in almost 3 years, but he never actually reached out to the guy that he was so worried that Leafy attacked. And that's why that backfired on him, because it didn't seem sincere.
A lot of people speculate that H3 was doing the same thing with Tony, propping him up as a victim of Keemstar, but then never giving him the time of day again, being a fake friend to Tony. It seems like he's getting stretched from every fucking angle and he doesn't really know how to respond, right? And I know I've been very negative towards him in the past, but I'm honestly looking at the situation and reevaluating my stance on it. I hate the attention grabbing that Tony does all the time. I mean, it's pretty fucking bad. He constantly blames Keemstar for shit that just doesn't really make any sense. Not saying that he doesn't have a right to complain about the initial drama alert, but 6 years later, especially when the damage that came from that situation isn't even coming from Keemstar anymore, and saying that you forgave him and then going back on an apology, I mean, what kind of shit is that, right? When you accepted his apology back in 2016, did you mean that? Or did you just want Keemstar to get off your fucking ass? It's okay to admit that if that's why you accepted his apology back then, but the answers are just unclear here, and nobody knows what the fuck this guy's doing. Keemstar tweeted, at RSGloryandGold, I just realized every time I tweeted you, I haven't even been talking to Tony. It's whoever runs this Twitter account for Tony who's caused all the problems between us for years. I wish Tony nothing but the best. With Tony being ill, whoever runs this account needs to be stopped. Now, as far as I know, this is just a conspiracy theory. Nobody really knows how much Tony himself is tweeting on his account versus his family that's tweeting for him. They've admitted to doing it in the past, though, and given Tony's wishy-washy nature on various topics, it makes sense that he's being pulled from a bunch of different directions. Pressure from YouTubers, pressure from his family. It seems like he just doesn't fucking know what's going on. And if that's truly the case, then I don't really blame him necessarily. I mean, he's an old man who plays RuneScape on Twitch. He's not a drama YouTuber who knows, the intricate way of how to navigate, conflict on the internet. And given that he's dying of cancer right now as we speak, it's a little bit hard for me to bash him as much as I have in the past, That's why I'm doing this video, to just reevaluate my stance on the situation, because I need to do this for myself. I need to look at this and be like, how do I really feel about this? Obviously, Keemstar is pissed off, and you can take a listen to the clip here.
In 2016, me and Tony were good. We were friends. We talked on the phone. I was giving him advice and how to get views and whatever, right? But long story short, I believe in 2017, he started, somebody catfished him. Like a group of trolls got together and catfished him or whatever. And then a story came out that, he was messing around with someone underage. He wasn't. He was catfished, but the catfishers changed the age. They were telling Tony that it was an adult woman, but then they told the internet that they catfished him with a minor to try to make him look like a P word. So people from that catfish story, these group of trolls started calling him the P word again. And he blamed me for it. And I'm like, I have nothing to do with this. I don't have anything to do with this catfish story. And we had a falling out because he blamed I made plans to meet up with him in 2015 that summer because I went to Kansas City and I was like, look at Tony, we're so good at, I offered him 20 grand. He wouldn't take my money. I offered to fly him to RuneScape event. I played video games with him on the stream. He accepted my apology and he didn't want anything but me to be his friend and help him with YouTube and shit. So I'd get on the phone with him, and the guy on the phone is not the guy that you see online at all. It's two different people. But anyhow, long story short, I go to meet up with him in Kansas City, and I'm calling him to try to set this up, and he blows me off and whatever, not a big deal. But then when I came back,
did you like it when he blew you off?
Funny. When I come back to Buffalo, a couple weeks later, he starts telling everyone that I ditched him. I'm like, wait, that's not true. And so he gets a little bit of clout from that, running this fake story that I blew him off. So I make a Twitter video back and I'm like, you're lying. That's not true. I called you multiple times. We had plans to meet at this bar and you didn't show up, right? And ever since then, that was 2015.
I gotta take whatever Keem says with a grain of salt.
So I guess we were cool for maybe 6 months only.
What do you think
but
changed?
Anyhow, just his channel died. People stopped watching him because the reason why he got so popular is because he was the old man that I falsely accused of being a pedo. And so that's what made his whole career. And so every time that his views would go down and he'd only have 50 people in his Twitch stream or whatever, he'd say Keemstar's harassing me, and like I wasn't harassing him. He'd say Keemstar's fans are calling him a pedo. I wasn't doing that. And he just kept making videos over and over and over on his YouTube channel and talking about me on stream and all this stuff. So then it became like, now we're at war again. I'm like firing back at him like, I'm not doing this. You're lying. Like, and so this has been going on this whole time. And even through the H3H3, when H3H3 covered this and misrepresented everything and wasn't factual on anything, you know, he got a big boost from those H3H3 fans back to his channel, because once again, you know, in 2020, 5 years later, he was the victim of Keemstar. He got a clout boost. And so things die down after 2020, the Ethan war back and forth that we had. And he just pops off a video like every month on me just to get a little clout, just to get a little views.
If what Keemstar's saying is true and Tony is lying about him, that's fucked up and wrong, right? I just don't really know how to feel about the situation in general. I think Tony's been definitely mishandling it. I think it's obvious, right? That being said, though, he's also dying of cancer, which, you know, are you really going to hold the guy to the fire when he's literally dying? I understand that that's not like a perfect shield. Like, you can still be criticized even if you're ill, even terminally ill. It's just a little bit hard for me to do that at this point, right? Either Tony's being abused or he's just clout chasing and, you know, just making shit up like, to go after Keemstar, or maybe fucking Keemstar's lying and some of this stuff never fucking happened. I don't know. Regardless, it's going to be a horrible situation if Tony ever goes, and a lot of questions that we have about the situation are probably going to go unanswered. Who knows how much involvement his family has in his social media? Who knows how much involvement other people have in the decisions that Tony made? Or who knows if it was all Tony's, you know, decisions at play here, and this entire situation was orchestrated by him and only by him. I will say this one thing though, right? If this is all just a massive ploy for Tony to just fuck with Keemstar and just fuck with him after Keemstar called him a pedophile, Tony's now just like, you know what? I'm just going to just be I'm just going to fucking piss you off every fucking day for the next 6 years. Even on my deathbed, I'm going to fuck with you. And if that's what's going on right now, right here, even to his death, he's still shitting on Keemstar. I mean, GG. Well fucking played, man. That's funny as shit. But who knows? I wish Tony genuinely the best of luck with his cancer. Miracles do happen, and there's nothing wrong with believing that.